What the heck is going on, guys? What's cracking? What's popping? Working on the Supra right now. Next up, what I'm trying to fix is the overboost issue. This is the last thing, and if this doesn't fix it, then I am going to go to a new manifold setup, so on and so forth. This is the last fix I can really do. The only thing left to do, I think I might have pinched the diaphragm in the wastegate. Years ago, I was trying to get this thing on and off multiple times, and I think I just pinched the diaphragm. I think it's my own fault, and I think that's what the issue has been from day one, from when I tried to get it on. So what I'm gonna do is take this off, and I am going to, well, just take it off and see if the diaphragm's bad on it. If the diaphragm's bad, you'll see a rip or tear. It'll have some kind of issue in it, and that would explain why I'm not able to hold boost. Because there's multiple other people out there with single gates, especially with S366, holding boost down as low as like 10, 11 PSI. So yeah, it doesn't make much sense for me. It's driving me crazy. If this isn't the issue, then I need to go to a dual gate setup. Just to make sure I have accurate boost control, especially with 93 pump gas. Plus, when I go to 85, I'll just have much more accurate boost control. Although I do prefer a single gate over a dual gate, just for simplicity reasons. I'm gonna have to go that route if it comes to that, but we're not there yet, so let's go ahead and try taking this thing off and see if this really is the problem. First step's easy. All we have to do is take off the 3-inch downpipe there, which is a V-band. It's set off to the side. You don't need to take the sensor out here, so I just disconnected the O2 sensor directly from the well, the harness, and just leave the O2 sensor in it. This way, when you put it back in, you're not trying to screw that in either. I do need to get a new plug here. If you guys can see, it's pretty well rusted out. I actually got that from a Tractor Supply store. It was the only place that actually had a hex head that would actually fix this, or the thread type. So it was just like cheap, like steel, and you can see it's just starting to rust and stuff. With the stainless, it's starting to pit and everything, but it's still stainless. If I would scrub it down and polish it up, it would look like new again, but I just haven't messed with it. And the pie cuts aren't looking that pretty anymore. It's what happens when you actually drive the car into different weather. I think I have a good bit of mileage on the setup. Not that it goes bad, but you know what I'm saying. So anyways, I digress a little bit here. Next up, I need to take off this top clamp and get off these two fittings here. Well, should I take the fittings off? Yeah, what do I want to do here? Do I want to take the fittings off, Ryan, or do I want to leave them on? I think I'm gonna actually take the fittings off just because he's clamped on. I think it'll be a little bit easier. Take those off and just set the bolts off to the side. So let's just go ahead and do that. Next up, guys, what we're going to do here is remove this bolt here so we can get off this slip pipe. What I'm going to do is, to make this line up a little bit easier though, is actually put a red line on it so I can mount this up a little bit easier when that time comes. Or maybe not, just because I need to move it around as it is. So maybe it won't do that, and I'll just leave it as it is. I'll put the downpipe on and then put that back on. There's a bolt underneath of it then that's right here that's going to be a really pain, because this hex head, or this Allen key head, is actually stripped. So that's going to be quite difficult, but the top one there shouldn't be too bad. But we can at least get this top pipe off and then get the gate off. All right, guys, so we've got the wastegate off now. One thing I want to show you guys is, if you can see here, if you guys can see here, there's black around here, meaning that there was, it wasn't holding gate pressure, because it looks like the seal wasn't holding here, which is a little weird. Once that's clamped down, I mean, that should be holding tight. I'm not sure why that wouldn't be. I'm gonna take a picture of this here and ask around what would cause this. But if you look at the wastegate also, you guys can see it's pretty horrendous. It's off to this side here. It's pretty bad. It's blowing out that one side horribly. Now I'm still gonna take the top off of this and see what the issue is, but I don't think the ring in here was holding properly. Like, I'm not sure if this ring is bad or if it's not seating properly. Let's go over here and look at it real quick, but something's not seating properly. I mean, that's a ton to get by it. So that might have been, I mean, that should have been on there nice and tight. Maybe it was sitting up ever so slightly, or off to the side maybe. I don't know, but something wasn't applying enough pressure there, obviously, and causing it to leak, which is not good. I'm trying to see anywhere else there could be. Looks like it was the whole way up around here too, like you guys can see right there. I don't think it was seating at all. I think something is wrong. I think that diaphragm might be ripped or something's not holding properly. This isn't normal. So I'm gonna take some pictures here, guys, send it off to some people and see what they think. So now, guys, what I'm gonna do is get this top hat off. I hold it in here because obviously when you take spring pressure off, it tends to bend these little, I think there's 6 total of these little cap screws in here. So just going to go around it. I've got to get a small cap screw remover and just take those out, and then I'm done. So just need to get those out quick and see if the diaphragm's ripped at all. Well, guys, it's always something. So I had to put in this clamp. I had it set up here, but wasn't cutting it because these things, before they were never this tight. Something happened. They must have got a bunch of heat in it with the aluminum, and these fuckers were tight. I made sure I had the right size here to remove them. I got 4 of them undone, or 5 of them undone. And then this one here just didn't want to comply with me and rounded out the head. So I was trying to use one of these speed out things here, but this isn't working. It's always come in handy before and it's always worked for me, but in this instance, it's not doing dick shit for me, sadly. I might step it up a size here and see if this helps at all, but I think this is too big. But hey, it's worth a shot. So I'm gonna try this here next and see if it works. If not, I'm gonna ask around what to do. So just as soon as I turned this off and tried the next easy out, boom, I went 1 size up. If the camera will fucking focus. So I went 1 step up there and boom, ripped it right out for me. So I'm gonna need a new one of these. I might get a couple extra because I think I might just replace them all just because, well, I don't want this happening again. I'm gonna get a new bolt then too for 2 of the clamps. So replace those, and now let's see if the diaphragm's messed up. Now I want to go back out here to the garage. It's daylight again here, no working at night. So what I'm doing here next is showing you guys what exactly the issue is. I guarantee that's the problem. I went ahead and ordered some bolts. I ordered a new diaphragm for the car. I'm fixing a couple things. I don't think this is going to fix the problem. The only reason I say this is this. If you have a leak, you tend to lose boost. That tends to be the issue. You don't gain boost. You tend to, well, hold on. That means the turbo could be overworking. So it's running more boost. Could be the issue. I have to revisit this. I have to revisit the thought process behind it. But my thinking is that if I can get this to seal down here, as you guys can see again, it's just up top there. This is ridiculous. Look how bad that is. Absolutely, that's not acceptable. So I'm hoping when I get this all reclamped down, put the downpipe and everything on. Like I said, I have to get, do I have another clamp over here? I have to get a couple new things. And after watching that Velocity Labs, he showed me an idea of how to remove all this like corrosion and shit on here. I might try it, especially on the downpipe, so it looks a little pretty again. It literally just like gets rid of all the corrosion, which I'm looking forward to trying to do. So give that a shot. Another thing I want to tell you guys is I'm picking up the T56 tomorrow. So I'm going with my buddy Kyle and my cousin Corey. We're driving up to Hollidaysburg, to Grannis Racing to go pick up the T56 Magnum for that. Hoping to get that in over Thanksgiving here. I don't want to rush it because I want to do a detailed install like bolt by bolt. So those are probably going to be like 20, 30 minute long episodes. I'm probably going to make it into 3 sections. I'm thinking, it depends how the video comes together and how detailed I have it and how I go about it. But I'm thinking it's going to be most likely 3 episodes for the T56 install. You know, a breakdown of what you're getting, a breakdown of how to get that, the trans in, setting in the clutch up, doing the drive line and stuff. I want to make sure it's 100% step by step, so whoever gets it, you can send them this video and there's no like, oh, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Like, here's everything you need to do, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you can't follow it by doing these steps, you need to take it to a professional. Period. All right, since we're done working on the Supra, we're back to the MR2 here. I just ordered a new cap and rotor for the car, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. What you need to do is unplug these wires, take out 2 8mm, I believe it's 2 of them, 8mm bolts that are on this, and then replace the cap and rotor inside. So all you gotta do is, well, it's hard to do this one-handed, I'm not gonna lie. There we go, there we go. Come on, Jimmy, come on. There we go, 1. Yeah, I can't even get my hand down there. Well, maybe I'll make this a montage. Oh, there we go. How are the leads looking? That's another thing I wanted to look at. Ooh. I think some of these leads might be part of the problem. Let's look at these. Ooh, they've seen better. Now, these are factory plug wires, too, so they're not cheapos. Now that the cap is off, we just need to take this red rotor off, which I just noticed they are both dented, so these are OEM. I'm not sure if they're original OEM, but they are OEM, so replace these and see if this fixes the issue. Unfortunately, the local auto parts store did not have any in stock, so I gotta wait for that. I'm hoping this fixes the problem. And that last part there is now you can see the timing wheel itself. Yeah. Only thing I gotta do is get a new cap and rotor, so hopefully that comes in tomorrow, and I'll flip over to that, guys, once I get there. All right, guys, so we just got back to Waynesboro here. I know I was working on the MR2 here. This is part of another video, but we just got back. We just picked up the transmission. Kyle's in the back. Corey's here. He drove up. So we're gonna unload the transmission here. I got the T56 in the back. You'll see the video after this where I went to the Granis' shop, kind of went over detail what he does, a bunch of cool shit with that. But I'm just gonna show you guys unloading this and kind of go over a few things with the transmission. All right, guys, so here's everything as my wife stands there. She's super happy about all this, aren't you, honey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got the T56 already out, QuickTime bell housing, drive shaft shop. I think this is a 4-inch, I don't even know what this is, huge drive shaft that Joel said will hold, I'll pretty much last me forever. That I shouldn't have an issue with that. We have a Clutch Master full face clutch cord. Can you pick that up so they can see the actual clutch disc here? You actually take that there, the pressure plate off, should pull off. As you guys can see, it is a full face clutch. I didn't want to go with a 6-puck, and I didn't want to go with a twin disc this time around just because this will slip and won't shudder like my 6-puck did, what you guys saw. But the one big thing with this clutch is the fact that it has a true throw-up bearing. What I mean by that is it's hydraulic based and not mechanically based. This should give a better feel and should last me a little bit longer. It comes with line here, and then Joel throws in more clutch line. It also comes with a brand new Prothane mount, which is sitting right here with all the correct fittings and everything. So we have all that. We didn't have a chromoly member that Joel Granis himself actually makes. Again, it comes with all nuts and bolts. Here's more of the bolts and stuff for the flywheel to put them on. Clutch Master supplies all that. With the drive shaft, it comes with a custom billet donut that you need to adapt back to the pumpkin. Comes with all the bolts and nuts and everything you need for the bell housing to the motor. I actually wanted, you don't have to get this, but it comes with a 3D printed coupler. This allows you to put this on the Sicky shifter here and keep the shift boot nice and clean looking. I opted for the GR Racing 6-speed shift knob that looks like a factory 6-speed shift knob. We got the SGI 5 by Dakota Racing here. This will make it so that I can, I guess the word I'm looking for is so I can have accurate mile per hour readings. You don't have to have that, but it's helpful. And then this, like the Sicky Racing shifter, that's my cousin Corey here, is like, this thing is badass. It's very well made, it's very clean. Yeah, the machining on it, like I mean, it's a nice piece. One thing I know people said about it is these bolts or nuts coming loose. Joel had them start using a thread locker style nut on them and red Loctite, and then this is loose because you have to make sure this is off when you're installing the transmission. Just stuff like that, but this is where we're at right now, guys. I'm pretty excited about that. Again, the bell housing here. Granis also does the step of grinding down this edge here. From the factory, they don't do this, or from QuickTime, they don't, and it doesn't fit properly. So Joel takes care of that and mounting that tip on. He also grinds down the transmission right here. If you guys can see, there's a tab right here that needs to be ground down. He takes care of that for you also. So a couple things I need to do. I'm pretty excited about it. Thanks again to Corey for driving up today. It was a little over 4-hour round trip. So it was a long day, but it was fun. Like, we had a good time. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. If you have any questions or concerns, there's going to be an in-depth video coming up very, very soon on all this. I'm gonna get back to the MR2 here, and hopefully I can get this hesitation issue fixed.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.